There's a planet in the Milky Way where all the people dig all day. And that's where I grew up. My town was a gigantic mine, and everyone I ever met was a digger. Every adult I knew just dug all day, and every kid I met in school was learning how to dig. Actually, the only subject taught in school was digging. In short, my town was one big hole in the ground where everybody dug, and even at night when people slept, they dreamt of digging. They called the town a diamond mine, and everybody dug for diamonds. I asked a lot about the diamonds to my parents and my teachers, and they told me lots of stories. But it wasn't long before I realized that no one had actually seen a diamond before. I asked why everyone kept digging if they didn't even know what they were digging for, but no one could give me an answer. After that, I became a reluctant digger. Sometimes I stopped digging altogether and just watched the others dig. But most of the time, I dug half-heartedly, and everyone scolded me for it. I became confused and angry. I felt alone and sad. I wished I could stop worrying and just dig like everyone else, but I couldn't. So I threw away my shovel and kicked dirt in strangers' faces. Then one day, everyone in town turned to me and shouted, "Nick, you're weak. You're a drag on this town and nothing but trouble. You can't dig here anymore. Get out of this mine." I was stunned. In shock, I climbed out of the hole and walked away. I walked alone for 7 years. I cursed the mine and cursed myself. I walked and walked until one day, in the middle of a desert, I came upon an abandoned shovel. I screamed and picked it up and started digging like a madman. I dug and dug and dug. I dug more furiously than anyone I ever knew back at the mine. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. I dug throughout the night and day. After 2 years, I stopped cursing the mine. After 4 years, I stopped cursing myself. After 6 years, I stopped thinking altogether and fell into a trance. I was in a trance for 3 days. My fingers gripped the shovel on their own. My arms dipped and scooped the shovel on their own. My lungs breathed on their own. My heart beat on its own. The hole dug itself. Then my fingers loosed, the shovel dropped, and my arms fell by my side. My breath ceased, and I stood in perfect stillness in the hole. And then I saw, I am a diamond. Blissfully, I left my hole. My body walked itself. It walked and walked until it came upon my old town. I had walked around the world. I walked up to the edge and looked into the hole. The town had tripled in depth, and everywhere were diamonds digging. I watched them with amazement. I watched them with a smile. One by one, they noticed me. I started crying. What could I say? What could they fathom? They looked weary. They looked clouded. I looked upon myself and noticed how I glistened in the sun. I walked into their hole. Sun rays shimmered through me as I descended through their town. The places that were dark became illumined. At the bottom of the hole, without a shovel in his hand, a shadow boy observed his whole town digging. I knelt before him, and he looked at me in perfect stillness. I put my hand upon his forehead and thumbed away the dirt. Light filled him, and he glowed.